rounds off the quarter-final stage. Impressive so far from Littler and Cross. Who do you expect to come out in the next two?
Well, yeah, it's difficult. I mean, obviously, you want to see Dobey do well in front of his home fans, but we saw last week the added pressure of playing in your home venue. It really affected Gerwyn Price last week, and he spoke openly about it, and I imagine there's a little bit of pressure here. Obviously, Chris Dobey did play her a couple of years ago, got an opening win in the quarterfinals, and then bowed out at the semis. I think he'd be happy if he could just get past Humphries, but Humphries, I feel, might be a bit of a wounded animal. He's lost the last 3 opening rounds in the Premier League. He's going to want to get back in and get some points on the board.
Yeah, it was a winner back in week 4, wasn't he? Beat Luke Littler in the final. We've not seen him in the final since then. Chris Dobey's been saying in the press that he wants a new walk-on song. He is going to have a new walk-on song tonight, one that I think will appeal to the majority of the Geordies in the crowd. It is the Newcastle United walk-on song as well, so it's going to go down pretty well, isn't it, up there?
Yeah, absolutely, especially off the back of the win that they recently had over Liverpool as well. There's so much to celebrate for them as a club, but obviously Chris Dobey, a proud Newcastle supporter, I'm sure he's going to get a big reception here in his hometown. He
is indeed. So Luke Littler, we know, top of the table, 6 points clear going into tonight, and if Humphries doesn't win this opening game for him, then Littler's going to extend that lead by at least another 2 points.
Yeah, and I know Humphries has been that player that said the whole idea about this stage is to qualify, is to keep within the top 4. Obviously, but he was the dominant force for quite some time. It's just this last few weeks tailed off and allowed Luke Littler to kind of just step through and take that top spot once again.
Looking forward to it. The second half of the draw, already seen Luke Littler 109.98. I mean, the woes just keep coming for Bunting, don't they?
Yeah, I was saying to Mace earlier, I just said you can't help but feel sorry for Stephen Bunting. He was throwing everything at it, especially at the start, but you could see there was a point where the head starts to drop and he's like, what more does he have to do? But you know, it's just difficult times here in the Premier League for Stephen Bunting.
Yeah, it certainly is. Action to come next week, live from Berlin, then Manchester, Rotterdam, Liverpool, Birmingham, Leeds, Aberdeen and Sheffield before we hit the playoffs. But tonight, it's all the action week at Utility Arena up in Newcastle, awaiting the 2 teams to come out onto the field. And it's fair to say we've had 2 dominant performances. I'm not too sure we're going to get the same in the next go. I expect these to be a little bit more evenly fought out.
You'd hope so. I think they've already met a couple of times. I mean, both meetings in the Premier League have gone the way of Luke Humphries. It was that final early on in week 1. Chris Dobey made it through but lost out to Luke Humphries, and then they met in week 2. So it's been a while since they've actually had a meeting in the Premier League. However, you just think for the fans, they're going to want Dobey to win.
Yeah, let's join John McDonald there.
We're coming to you live on Sky Sports from the great city of Newcastle. This is the BetMGM Premier League. Time to meet the players. Time to walk them home. The winner of 7 PDC titles, a World Championship semi-finalist, a winner of the Masters,